Wow, besides using white phosphorus on Palestinians in Gaza and the West Bank, the Israeli government has decided to start using white phosphorus bombs on civilians in Lebanon. This comes after the Israeli government killed a bunch of journalists, well, killed a journalist and injured a bunch of others in Lebanon, uh, injuring, I think, some civilians and a soldier as well.
Any reaction to the Washington Post report that Israel used white phosphorus on civilians in southern Lebanon?
We are concerned by the reports of the use of white phosphorus. Obviously, there is a legitimate military use for white phosphorus, but that does not include using them on civilians. It means that if you use them, you have to do everything you can to minimize civilian harm.
And we know that the Israeli government isn't doing everything in its power to minimize civilian harm. They're doing everything in its power to maximize civilian harm.
Anytime that we provide items like white phosphorus or really anything to another military, we do it with the expectation that it will be used for legitimate purposes and in full keeping with international humanitarian law and the law of armed conflict. So we're looking into this.
Well, it's obvious that the Israeli government isn't using phosphorus bombs in context with like international law and stuff. So the United States knows this. They've known this for a while, and they don't care. They will go out and make press conferences like this, acting like they're concerned about their allies mass murdering innocent people, but never do anything to stop it.
And looking for additional information. We think there are more things that Israel can do to minimize civilian harm. The Secretary talked about some of those this weekend. We think there needs to be more predictability in the South for when humanitarian pauses can take place. There needs to be more predictability in terms of the corridors that that civilians could use to get themselves out of harm's way, and in designated time periods when those are protected. There needs to be more predictability in those same corridors so aid can come in. And with respect to the use of the weapons we provide, and with respect to the use of weapons that we don't provide but that Israel uses on its own, we have been clear in all of our conversations with them that they need to comply with international humanitarian law and the laws of war. We have been quite clear with that at the highest possible level.
Really? Because that seems like a lie. Because when the UN has any resolutions against the Israeli government for any of its war crimes, and lets them continue on with their war crimes.
Levels of this government, and will continue to do so.